Today, I want you to stop whatever you are doing and listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you can change the way you learn, the way you think, and the way you speak for the rest of your life. The topic is simple, 3 words: think, read, speak. But these 3 words have the power to change your confidence, your success, and even the way people see you. Many people want to speak well. They want to sound smart. They want to be confident. But they forget something important. Speaking well does not start with the mouth. It starts with the mind. If your mind is not full of good thoughts, if you don't have the right words, if you don't read enough, your speech will be empty. It will be like trying to pour from a glass that has no water. I remember once meeting a young man named David in New York. He told me, "I want to speak English like a native." But when I asked him, "What books do you read? What do you think about when you are alone?" he had no answer. That's when I told him, "David, speaking is the last step. First, you must think better. Then, you must read better. Only then will you speak better." Thinking, reading, and speaking are like 3 brothers. They work together. If one is weak, the other 2 will suffer. If your thinking is poor, your reading will be poor. If your reading is poor, your speaking will be poor. But if you make your thinking strong, your reading wide, and your speaking clear, you will shine wherever you go. We live in a fast world. People talk a lot, but think very little. They scroll on their phones all day, but read almost nothing of value. They speak quickly, but without depth, and because of this, many conversations today are like fast food, quick, colorful, but with no nutrition. I want to help you change that. I want you to imagine something. Imagine you are sitting in a room full of people. Everyone is talking, but when you speak, the room goes quiet. People look at you. They listen. They feel your words. They respect you. This is not magic. This is the result of thinking deeply, reading wisely, and speaking with heart. My promise to you is this: if you stay with me until the end of this talk, you will not just learn how to speak better, you will learn how to live better. You will learn how to fill your mind with gold, how to read in a way that changes your life, and how to speak so people never forget your words. And remember this: your voice is not just sound. Many people don't train their thinking. They allow any thought to enter their mind: gossip, negativity, fear. Then they wonder why their words have no power. The truth is, your speech is only the mirror of your mind. If your mind is full of confusion, your speech will be full of confusion. If your mind is full of wisdom, your speech will be full of wisdom. Good thinking is not something you are born with. It is something you build, just like a strong house. Every day you add bricks of knowledge. You choose what to focus on. You ask yourself good questions. You try to understand before you try to reply. Let me share a simple trick. Every time you are about to speak, pause for 2 seconds. In those 2 seconds, ask yourself, will my words help or hurt? Will my words add value or waste time? This short pause is powerful. It gives you control. It makes you look calm. It makes you sound wise. I remember a woman I met in Chicago. Her name was Sarah. She was quiet most of the time, but when she spoke, everyone listened. I once asked her, "Why don't you speak more often?" She smiled and said, "Because when I speak, I want my words to matter." That answer stayed with me. We live in a world where people speak too much, but say too little. Be like Sarah, make your words matter. Thinking also means connecting ideas. When you hear a new fact, don't just memorize it. Ask yourself, how does this connect with what I already know? This is how you build a strong network of ideas in your mind. And when you have that network, your brain will find the right words faster. You will not feel blank in conversations anymore. Some people think speaking well means speaking fast. No, speaking well means speaking with clarity. And clarity comes from thinking clearly. Just like a river flows clean when its source is clean, your speech will flow beautifully when your mind is clean. One of the best ways to improve thinking is to spend some time alone every day without noise. No phone, no TV, just you and your thoughts. Sit quietly. Reflect on your day. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? What could I have done better? This simple habit will make you more aware, and awareness is the first step to wisdom. I want you to remember this. A person who can think deeply will always be respected, even if they speak less. A person who speaks a lot but thinks little will always be forgotten. So, before you open your mouth, open your mind. Chapter 2. Read to fill your mind. If thinking is the soil, reading is the water. Without water, even the richest soil will dry and crack. Without reading, even the sharpest mind will slowly become empty. Reading is the food of the mind. It feeds your ideas, it feeds your creativity, and it feeds your words. Many people say, "I want to speak like a leader." But when you ask them, "What do you read every day?" they have no answer. The truth is, your words are only as strong as the words you have read. If your mind is a bookshelf, reading is how you fill it. If you never put good books on that shelf, you will have nothing good to take out. Reading is not just about learning facts. It is about shaping your way of thinking. When you read the story of someone's struggle, you learn courage. When you read about history, you understand human mistakes and successes. When you read poetry, you feel beauty in language. And all of this will slowly flow into your own speech without you even trying. But I must warn you, not all reading is good reading. Just like not all food is healthy, not all books, articles, or news will make you better. You must choose carefully. Read things that inspire you, teach you, and make you think. Avoid words that make you angry for no reason, or fill you with fear and gossip. Your mind is precious. Protect it. When I was a child, my mother gave me a simple advice. She said, "Read one page before you sleep and one page after you wake up." It sounded so small, but I followed it. And over the years, those small pages became thousands of pages, and those pages became ideas, stories, and lessons that shaped my life. Reading a little every day is like saving money every day. It may feel small now, but it will make you rich in the future. Some people say, "I don't have time to read," but they spend hours on their phone. The truth is, you always have time for what you truly value. Even 10 minutes a day can change your mind over a year. Think of it. In 10 minutes, you could scroll through random videos, or you could learn something that makes you wiser for life. The choice is yours. One powerful way to improve your speech is to read aloud sometimes. When you read aloud, you hear the rhythm of good sentences. You learn how words connect. You train your tongue to move smoothly. And slowly, these patterns become part of your natural speech. I remember meeting a taxi driver in Los Angeles named Mark. He spoke perfect English with a rich vocabulary, but he had never gone to college. When I asked him how he learned, he said, "Every day, I read the newspaper aloud for 15 minutes. I started 20 years ago. Now I don't just speak English, I live it." That is the power of daily reading. Reading also builds empathy. When you read about people from different cultures, your mind opens. You start to understand how others feel. And when you understand people better, your conversations become deeper. You are no longer just talking, you are connecting. Remember, speaking well is not about having 100 fancy words. It is about having the right word at the right time. Reading gives you those words. It gives you confidence, It makes you a person others want to listen to. So if you truly want to think, read, speak, never skip the middle part. Reading is the bridge between thinking and speaking. Without it, your ideas will stay locked in your mind. Chapter 3. Speak with power and heart. Now we come to the final step, speaking. This is the moment when all your thinking and reading come to life. Speaking is not just about sound, it is about connection. It is about taking what is in your mind and heart and delivering it so it reaches the mind and heart of another person. When you speak, you are not just sharing information. You are sharing yourself, your beliefs, your experiences, your values. That is why it is important to speak with both power and heart. Power makes people pay attention. Heart makes people care. If you only have power, you may sound strong but cold. If you only have heart, you may sound warm but weak. You need both. Many people believe that speaking well is about using big words. But the truth is, speaking well is about using simple words in a clear and meaningful way. The greatest speeches in history are made of simple sentences. Why? Because simple words go straight to the heart. I remember listening to a teacher named Mr. Thompson when I was in school. He never used complicated vocabulary, but every time he spoke, you could feel his passion. His voice was calm, yet it carried weight. His eyes told you that he truly believed in what he was saying. And because he believed it, we believed it too. That is the secret. People don't just listen to your words, they listen to your belief in your words. If you want to speak with power, you must first be sure of what you are saying. Confidence is born from preparation. If you have thought deeply and read widely, you will have the right words ready. You won't be afraid of silence. You won't feel the need to rush. You will speak slowly, clearly, and with purpose. To speak with heart, you must care about the person you are speaking to. Don't speak just to impress. Speak to help, to guide, to inspire. Ask yourself, when I finish speaking, how do I want them to feel? Maybe you want them to feel hope. Maybe you want them to feel understood. Maybe you want them to feel courage. Shape your words toward that goal. A small tip: use stories. People forget facts, but they remember stories. When you tell a story, you bring your ideas to life. You give your listener pictures to see in their mind. You make them feel something, and when they feel something, they remember you. Another tip: don't be afraid of pauses. Many beginners rush through their sentences because they fear silence, but silence is powerful. A pause gives your listener time to think. A pause makes your next words heavier, more important. Great speakers know that a pause is not empty, it is full of meaning. And remember, your voice is not just in your words, it is in your tone, your eyes, your body. Speak with your whole self. Let your eyes show interest. Let your face show emotion. Let your hands move naturally. Communication is more than talking. It is the total energy you bring. Speaking with power and heart will not come in one day. It is a skill you build. Every conversation is practice. Every time you share an idea, you are training yourself. Over time, you will notice that people don't just hear you, they feel you. And when people feel you, they will never forget you. If thinking is planting the seed, and reading is watering the plant, then speaking is sharing the fruit. You have worked hard to grow it. Now, give it to the world with love. Chapter 4: The Daily Strategy to Think, Read, and Speak. Now you know the 3 steps: think, read, speak. But knowing is not enough. You must live them every day. The problem is, many people learn something powerful but never turn it into a habit. They hear good advice. They feel motivated for a moment, but after 1 week, they forget. This is why we need a clear, simple daily strategy. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't care for it daily, weeds will grow. Negativity will enter. Confusion will take over. But if you give it a little attention every day, it will grow rich and beautiful. And from this mind, your speech will shine naturally. Here's how you can train yourself daily. Step 1. Morning thinking. 10 minutes. When you wake up, before you check your phone, spend 10 minutes with your thoughts. Sit quietly. Ask yourself 3 questions. What am I grateful for today? What do I want to learn today? How can I make today better than yesterday? These questions are simple, but they set your mind in the right direction. Gratitude makes you positive. Curiosity makes you eager to learn. Self-improvement makes you grow. Step 2. Daily reading. 20 minutes. Choose one book, article, or story that inspires you or teaches you something new. Read slowly, without rushing. Focus on understanding. If you find a beautiful sentence, stop and read it again. Feel the words. Imagine how you could use them in your own speech. If you are busy, read 1 page in the morning and 1 page at night. If you have more time, read more. But remember, it is better to read 2 good pages with focus than 20 pages without attention. Step 3. Speaking practice. 15 minutes. Find 15 minutes to speak out loud every day. You can do it in front of a mirror, with a friend, or even alone in your room. Talk about something you read that day. Share your thoughts. Pretend you are explaining it to someone who has never heard it before. This practice does 2 things. It trains your tongue to express your thoughts clearly, and it builds your confidence. At first, you may feel shy. You may make mistakes. But remember, mistakes are proof you are trying. Over time, your words will flow more naturally. Step 4. Evening reflection, 5 minutes. Before you sleep, take 5 minutes to review your day. Ask yourself, did I think before I spoke today? Did I read something valuable today? Did I speak with power and heart today? If the answer is yes, smile and be proud. If the answer is no, promise yourself to do better tomorrow. This is how you grow, not by being perfect every day, but by improving a little every day. I remember a businessman I met in Boston named Robert. He followed this exact strategy for 6 months. Before, he was nervous in meetings. He often forgot his words. But after 6 months, people in his company started asking for his opinion. They said, "When Robert speaks, we listen." He didn't change overnight. He changed daily. And that's what made all the difference. This daily routine is not heavy. It will take less than 1 hour of your day. But if you follow it for 1 year, your thinking will be sharper, your reading will be deeper, and your speaking will be stronger than you ever imagined. Remember, success is not about doing one big thing once. It is about doing small things every day. Thinking, reading, and speaking are not just skills, they are a way of life. And if you live them, they will open doors you never thought possible. Chapter 5. How to overcome fear and shyness in speaking. For many people, the hardest part of think, read, speak is not the thinking or the reading. It is the speaking. Some feel shy, some feel fear, some feel their heart beat fast and their hands shake when it's time to open their mouth. They think, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh? What if I forget my words? I want to tell you something important. Even the best speakers in the world felt fear at the beginning. Fear is not a sign that you cannot speak. Fear is a sign that you care about speaking well. It means you want to do a good job, and that is a good thing. The first step to overcoming fear is to change your focus. Most people focus on themselves. How do I look? How do I sound? Will I make a mistake? This focus makes the fear grow bigger. Instead, focus on your message and your listener. Ask yourself, what do I want them to learn from me? How can my words help them? When your mind is on helping, fear becomes smaller. The second step is preparation. Fear is strongest when you are unprepared. One of my students, Maria, was painfully shy. She would not speak more than one sentence in class. But she started a small habit. Every day she would speak for 1 minute about any topic in front of her bathroom mirror. At first she felt silly, but after 3 months she began to see herself differently. She told me, "When I look in the mirror now, I see someone who can speak." And today she is a teacher herself. Another way to beat fear is to accept mistakes. Mistakes are not the enemy, they are the teacher. If you avoid speaking because you are afraid to make mistakes, you will never improve. But if you speak and make mistakes, you learn. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall many times, but they get up. They don't say, "I will never try again because I fell." They keep going, and soon they run. You must also learn to use your body to fight fear. When you feel nervous, stand tall, breathe deeply, smile. These simple actions send a message to your brain: I am safe, I am confident. And your brain will start to believe it. Finally, remember this truth: no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. People are busy with their own lives. They are not counting your mistakes. Most of them want you to succeed. And if you speak with honesty and heart, they will respect you even if your grammar is not perfect. Fear is like a shadow. It looks big until you face the light. And the light is action. Every time you speak, even if it's just a little, you are turning on that light. Over time, the shadow will disappear. Chapter 6: The real-life benefits of Think, Read, Speak. When you truly live by think, read, speak, it does not just improve your English, it changes your life. It shapes the way people see you, the way you see yourself, and the way opportunities find you. This is not just about language. This is about power, the kind of power that comes from knowledge, clarity, and confidence. First, it changes how people respect you. In any group, the person who speaks clearly, with well-formed ideas, becomes the leader, even if they don't have a title. Why? Because humans naturally follow those who can express ideas in a way that makes sense. When you think before you speak, people notice your calmness. When you read widely, people notice your knowledge. When you speak with both power and heart, people listen. Respect follows naturally. Second, it opens doors in your career. Employers, clients, and business partners look for people who can communicate well. You may have the best skills in the world, but if you cannot explain them clearly, those skills will stay hidden. I have seen many people with average technical skills get promoted faster than experts simply because they could explain their ideas in a way that inspired others. And those communication skills come directly from thinking deeply, reading widely, and speaking confidently. Third, it makes your relationships richer. Think about it. Most human problems come from poor communication, misunderstandings, words spoken in anger, not listening. When you train your mind to think before you speak, you avoid hurting others with careless words. When you read about different cultures and perspectives, you understand people better. When you speak from the heart, people feel safe to share their true thoughts with you. This builds trust, and trust is the foundation of every strong relationship. Fourth, it builds self-confidence. Many people feel small in front of others because they don't believe they have anything valuable to say. But when you have trained your mind with good thinking, filled it with rich reading, and practiced expressing yourself, you start to see yourself differently. You realize that your voice matters. You stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on sharing your own unique view of the world. I once met a young man named Kevin who worked as a waiter in a small cafe. He told me he felt invisible. Customers barely looked at him. But he started reading for 15 minutes a day and practicing speaking with his co-workers. Slowly, he began to share interesting facts, tell short stories, and make thoughtful comments to customers. People started noticing him. One customer, impressed by his conversation skills, offered him a job in a company. Within a year, Kevin was working in sales and earning 3 times more, all because he learned to think, read, and speak. Fifth, it gives you the ability to inspire. Words can lift someone from sadness. They can give courage to someone who is about to give up. They can turn a stranger into a friend. When your words are backed by clear thinking, shaped by good reading, and delivered with heart, they carry power beyond what you can imagine. You never know. One sentence from you might be the exact sentence someone needed to hear that day. Finally, it makes your life richer inside. Even when you are alone, your mind will be a place full of ideas, stories, and reflections. You will never feel bored because your thoughts will keep you company. You will be able to enjoy deep conversations, not just small talk. You will feel connected to the world through the books you read, the people you listen to, and the ideas you share. Living by think, read, speak is like carrying a light inside you. Everywhere you go, you shine a little. People notice, opportunities notice, and most importantly, you notice your own growth. Chapter 7: The common mistakes people make in thinking, reading, and speaking. Even when people know the power of think, read, speak, Many fail to grow because they keep falling into the same traps. If you can avoid these mistakes, your progress will be much faster. The first mistake is thinking without focus. Some people believe they are thinking, when in reality they are just daydreaming or worrying. True thinking means asking yourself questions, looking for answers, and connecting ideas. If your thoughts are only going in circles, you will not grow. Real thinking is like building. You take one brick, then another, until you have something solid. The second mistake is reading without purpose. Many people read only for entertainment, which is fine sometimes. But if you want to grow, you must also read for learning. Scrolling social media for hours is not reading that feeds your mind. Reading random gossip articles will not give you wisdom. If your reading doesn't inspire, teach, or challenge you, you are wasting valuable time. The third mistake is speaking without listening. Some people focus so much on what they will say next that they don't hear the other person. This makes their speech empty because they are not responding to the real conversation. They are just performing. Good speaking comes from good listening. When you listen deeply, you understand deeply. And when you understand deeply, your reply will be powerful. The fourth mistake is fearing mistakes too much. Many people wait until they are perfect before they speak. They wait until their grammar is perfect, their vocabulary is perfect, their accent is perfect. And because perfection never comes, they stay silent. This silence kills their progress. You must accept that mistakes are part of learning. Every good speaker you admire has made thousands of mistakes in their journey. The fifth mistake is speaking too fast. When people are nervous, they often rush their words, thinking speed will make them sound confident. But speed often makes your speech unclear. It gives the listener no time to process your message. Confidence is not speed. Confidence is clarity. Speak slowly enough that every word lands in the mind of your listener. The sixth mistake is not connecting thinking, reading, and speaking. Some people think a lot, but never read, so their thoughts lack variety. Some read a lot, but never think, so they just repeat other people's ideas without understanding them. Some speak a lot without thinking or reading, so their words feel empty. The real magic happens when you connect all three. The seventh mistake is ignoring body language. Your words may be powerful, but if your eyes look down, your shoulders are closed, and your voice is weak, your message will lose half its strength. Communication is not just about words, it's about how you carry yourself. Stand tall, keep your eyes kind but steady, and let your hands move naturally. The eighth mistake is being too self-centered in conversation. Speaking well does not mean talking only about yourself. If every sentence begins with I, people will lose interest. Good communication means balancing your stories with genuine interest in the other person. Ask questions. Make them feel heard. The 9th mistake is not practicing daily. Many people expect improvement just because they know the steps. But knowing is not the same as doing. If you think, read, and speak only once in a while, your skills will grow slowly. But if you do them every day, even for a few minutes, your skills will grow faster than you can imagine. The last mistake, and maybe the most dangerous, is giving up too soon. Change takes time. In the beginning, progress feels slow. You may not notice it, but others will. Keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Improvement in thinking, reading, and speaking is like watching a plant grow. You don't see it every day, but one day you look back and realize it has become a tree. Avoid these mistakes, and you will be ahead of most people. Because the truth is, most people know what they should do, but they don't do it consistently, and they keep repeating the same errors. You can be different. You can be the one who follows through. And so, my friends, when you bring thinking, reading, and speaking together, something magical happens inside you. It's not magic you see with your eyes. It's magic you feel deep in your mind and heart. You stop being just a listener in this world. You start being a creator. You don't just take words, you shape them, you own them. You give them to others in a way that can move their hearts. That is the true power of learning this skill. But I must be honest with you. It is not easy. The world will distract you. You will have days when you do not want to read. You will have days when you have nothing to say. You will have days when you feel your thinking is slow, your speech is weak, and your confidence is gone. On those days, I want you to remember this. Every person you admire, every great speaker, every wise thinker, and every inspiring leader you have ever heard, they all had days like this too. They were not born perfect. They were made perfect by their persistence. So when you think deeply, even if it's uncomfortable. When you read with full attention, even if the world is noisy. When you speak with courage, even if your voice shakes. And if you fail forward, fail while learning. That is how you grow. That is how you turn this simple habit into a lifelong strength. One day, you will stand somewhere, maybe in front of your family, maybe at work, maybe on a stage, and you will speak words that touch people. They will nod, they will smile, some might even cry. And in that moment, you will know every page you read, every thought you shaped, every word you practiced, it was all worth it. So my final thought for you today is this: words are seeds. What you think is the soil, what you read is the water, and what you speak, that is the flower the world gets to see. Plant well, water well, and you will give this world beauty it will never forget. Here's your 7-day daily plan to connect thinking, reading, and speaking. Day 1. The thinking hour. Spend 15 minutes in silence. No phone, no TV, just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself one simple question, like, what did I learn today? Or, what is one thing I want to improve? Write your thoughts in a small notebook. Don't worry about grammar, just capture your ideas. Day 2. Read to learn. Choose a short article, story, or even a few paragraphs from a book. Read slowly. Stop when you find an interesting sentence. Read it out loud. Ask yourself, what does this mean to me? This step will help you turn reading into something active, not passive. Day 3. Speak your thoughts. Take your notebook from day 1. Choose one thought and explain it out loud as if you're telling a friend. Record yourself on your phone. Listen. Notice how you sound, not to judge, but to understand where you can improve. Day 4. Mix reading and speaking. Pick a short piece from a book or article. Read it out loud. Then, without looking, try to explain the same thing in your own words. This will train your brain to transform written language into spoken language naturally. Day 5. Listen and respond. Listen to a short English podcast, interview, or YouTube video. Pause after each part and respond out loud. Imagine the speaker is asking you questions. This builds confidence and prepares you for real conversations. Day 6. Share with someone. Call a friend, speak to a family member, or join an online group. Share one thing you've learned this week. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on connecting. Day 7. Reflection and repeat. Sit quietly and think, what has changed in me this week? Write down 3 changes you've noticed, even if they're small. Then, start the process again next week. If you follow this, you'll not only improve your English, you'll train your mind to think clearly, read wisely, and speak confidently. And one day, without even realizing it, you will be the person others listen to for wisdom, for ideas, and for inspiration. Because remember, your voice matters, your ideas matter, and your story matters.